The question, what am I going to do after high school, looms in the back of my head every day. I am constantly reminded that I don't know the answer to that question, being surrounded by people who know exactly what they want to do, challenges at school that are focused towards finding the answer, and people constantly asking me about my answer to that question. This makes me tired daily, brings me lots of anxiety, and even self-deposition as a form of self-preservation and a sense of safety. To understand where I ended up, we need to go back in time to 2012. 11 years ago, my parents decided to welcome an exchange student from Italy. My brother and I quickly gave him the nickname Gigi after never being able to pronounce his name. Before the 2015 school year, my parents decided to host our third exchange student this year from Spain. Her name was Anne. That summer, my parents decided we should visit them in Europe for a month, 2 weeks in Madrid, Spain with Anne and her family, and the last 2 traveling all over Italy with Gigi and his. We loved Spain so much, we flew there the next year and spent 2 months in a small city in the northern part of the country called Gorley. While we were there, I learned many new things and we made many new friends. One of those friends invited me to stay with them for a few weeks the following year, and I did just that at age 11. Since then, I've traveled to many different countries and different states, but these 3 trips is what started my traveling journey. In 2016, my parents made the decision to homeschool my brother and I to have more freedom, flexibility, and to address the subjects I was behind in. After 5 years of homeschooling, they decided to put us back in a school. But this is where the question, what am I going to do after high school, showed up more in my life. It seemed that the list just kept getting longer and longer, and things kept changing, and I was seeking for clarity. I decided to get my first consistent job as a busser and a host at a restaurant until I turned 16 when I became a server. I loved the job, but I quickly realized that the workplace was very toxic and I hated working there every day. With hating work, the anxiety of figuring out what I wanted to do after high school, and everything else in my life, I was starting to burn out. I wanted to do something before my sophomore year, so my mom asked me if I wanted to go to Colorado through a company called Bold Earth. I would fly alone and meet lots of new people. I've done all the activities before, but it was always with family and never alone with a bunch of strangers, no less. I was nervous and was not sure about the idea, but I thought that it was only a stay away for 2 weeks. What's the worst that could happen? So I decided to go, and it was one of the best decisions I made. While the trip leaders and most of the boys were not the best people, I made many new friends, experienced new and exciting things, and the best part was I found that I had a love for the outdoors I never knew I had because it was hidden through my mother's shadow. After the trip, I was a sophomore. This year was one of my favorites, but still the same question lingered in my mind. I tried not to think about it too much because I still had 2 years left to figure it out. Because I enjoyed my Colorado trip, the next year I decided to go on another trip during the summer. The trip was to fly into France and hike the Tour de Mont Blanc, which went through France, Italy, and Switzerland. I was definitely not prepared with the gear I brought, but I loved every second of it. This trip proved that I love hiking and being out in the outdoors, but I saw it only as a hobby and just something I enjoyed. I never thought it could be anything more. It's now my junior year. While I know that there is something I loved, I still struggle to answer the question, what am I going to do after high school? The list continued to go on, and I felt that I needed to answer this question because after research, I found that this was the year I was supposed to apply for colleges and scholarships, but how was I supposed to do that when I don't know what I want to do? One day, around the first few months of school, my mom told me about a small new gear shop that was opening soon and they were hiring. I still had the job I hated and was desperately looking for a new job. I applied, got an interview, and was hired all in the same day. I was excited that I could leave my old job but scared of the future, but this decision was the best decision I have ever made. This place is Rendezvous. They have taught me and are still teaching me things every day, but more importantly, they've helped grow my love for the outdoors even more. They showed me that careers in the outdoors is possible, and they are helping me create clarity for what I am interested in, and it made me wonder if this is my calling. While I'm still uncertain about the answer, I have made the decision to not let it consume my everyday life. Instead, I'm trying to live each day to the fullest without the burden of having to have all the answers. The amount of time I've devoted to try to find the answer to that question has taken a toll on my life. So I'm shifting my focus on things I enjoy, like running, outdoors, and my job. Right now, I'm not in a rush to find my calling. I trust that God will lead me to my calling when the time is right, but for now, my goal is to live a stress-free life, and I'm starting to take those necessary steps to achieve that. However much I want to travel and live a stress-free life, I still recognize I need to provide for myself. Right now, I'm interested in heading to become a trip guide driven by my love of the outdoors. Part of the way I will achieve that goal will be getting my wilderness EMT license along with getting my scuba certification. While I can't say for certain that this is my lifelong calling, I believe that it will become an important step in my journey. I bet you're wondering, how will I get this done? I will take classes through RAO and NOLS to eventually get my EMT and wilderness EMT certification. I will also help lead trips and take trips myself to get more experience. This is an industry and job where you can't just take classes. You need real hands-on experience because every trip will have its own set of challenges. This will help me learn more about not just the basic knowledge that I need, but it will also help me understand what it truly takes. I am generally interested in learning more about leading trips and obtaining my wilderness EMT certification. While I've been researching different resources in class I can take to further my knowledge, I still have questions that I cannot find online. I need your help to answer any questions I may have now and as I get more experience, and to share experiences to help me on my path. Another challenge I face is the financial aspect. Traveling and taking important classes comes with a cost. I'm reaching out to you to help overcome this challenge. Your help will be greatly appreciated, whether that is advice, ideas for more cost-effective resources, or anything else to help me pursue my path. In return, I can promise 3 things: teaching others the knowledge and experience that I have to others, completing apprenticeships before the next school year, and personal growth. I know this job you will have to face many new challenges, so I promise to persevere through those challenges and have a positive attitude and open mindset to any and all challenges I face. Thank you.